Hi and welcome, softball fans, to day 4 of Super 6 baseball and softball tournament. Now, we started with the national anthems of the first two teams competing in the first game of the day. Overall, total, it's game number 12 of the tournament. We have 7 to go, including this one. Now introducing the Dutch defense, and on the rubber for the Dutch is Rebecca Sumeru, the veteran, starting yet another game. Behind the plate, Dinette Oosting, first baseman, Maxime van Dalen, second base, Cindy van der Sanden. At shortstop, Onesha Franka, Virginie Anneveld at third base, and outfielders from the left, Wies Lakefoot, Shani Versluis, and Brenda Beers. That's the defense of Team Netherlands, who have left their two-game day till the last day of the round robin. Since they lost to Italy 2 days ago, they will have to win both of their games today to get a chance to compete for the #1 spot tomorrow in the placement games. Now it's the #1 offense of the tournament of the Dutch facing number 6. That means the last defense. Let's see if the Greek team is capable of upsetting the clear favorite of this game, and that's the Dutch. When you look at the lineups, there's no space for relief for any of the teams, as we're used to observing at different championships. When you have, let's say, weaker opponents, you allow your best players to get some rest, or you save your best pitching. Well, no place for this in the Super 6. That's what makes this tournament even more exciting. And Becky Sumeru starts. Eleni Spirakis, the Greek shortstop, with an outside pitch for strike #1. Spirakis batting .400 in the tournament. Second best in this category of her team. Checks the swing, and a foul ball called. Strike #2. Now the Dutch will have stronger competition later tonight. At 6 o'clock they will face the undefeated Czechs, and there are various results of that game. Now, if the Czechs happen to lose, there will be a 3-way tie the top 3 teams, so any run will be accounted for. And we have all the combinations ready for you, but there's still a lot more to go before then. Following this game at 1 o'clock in the afternoon is a direct battle for the 4th spot between Team GB and Russia, winner of which will have guaranteed that 4th place, which will give him a chance tomorrow to play for the bronze overall. Loser will end up in 5th, facing the Greeks. That's, of course, taken into account the expected results of all the other games. Now, a long at bat to kick off the game, a full count on Spirakis. She's able to come back from an 0-2 count all the way to a full count. And let's see if she can add something more to her resume. Her on-base percentage, .750, as she hits it in the 5-6 hole, and a leadoff base hit to single for Spirakis. A great at bat for this young Greek player. She walked 4 times, got hit by a pitch 3 times, and then this records her 3rd hit overall, so increases her batting average to .500. Another player with a .500 average is Alexis Bezos, who shows bunt, corners, and million feeders drawn in, as Dutch defense is expecting this sacrifice bunt from Bezos. Got the highest number of at-bats and 5 hits out of 10. And ball gets away from Osting. That means Spirakis will advance to scoring position. And that gives the Greek offense an extra chance to score that first run of the game, as they are, as the count now 0-2. 2 strikes on Bezos, the Greek center fielder. Now with runner in scoring position and nobody away. He's with a great chance, and that catches the outside corner. Spirakis strikes out looking. Bezos strikes out looking, and that'll bring up the number 3 in the order, Anissa Eliopoulos, the second baseman. Batting 300 in the tournament. The Greeks still awaiting a win, and they will have a hard time getting it today because they will have a game off following this one, of course, but at 3:30 in the afternoon, they will face another strong competitor, Team Italy. Strike called. Bit delayed call there. Osting holding that ball up for home plate umpire Frank Clout here. Now, the ground crew doing a great job here, keeping the field in perfect condition for the games today. There was some light drizzle in the morning. There was a tarp covering the most exposed areas of the dirt, as Eliopoulos spoils that one. Very close to striking out on that off-speed pitch by Sumeru, but good job by Eliopoulos to stay in this at-bat. 1-2 pitch coming up from Sumeru. And hit towards the 5-6 cat once again, and it's Onesha Franca, the shortstop, who eventually makes the stop, which prevents Spirakis from advancing another base. But an infield hit for Anissa Eliopoulos, and they have 2 now in the top of the first. Dutch defense may be surprised by this early attack by the Greeks, and that brings up Maria Cepeda, the first baseman, had 1 triple in the tournament. Shows Bond, delays it down towards the third base side. Virginia Annefeld picks that ball up and unable to make a play anywhere. She knew she wasn't gonna throw it in time for to get that force out in first base, where Cindy van der Santen was covering for Maxime van Dalen, who as the first baseman was drawn into that bunt. But neither at third base they had any play, so the Greeks load the bases with 1 away. And Chelsea Lissikatis, who is one of the 2 players in the Greek lineup with an RBI in the tournament. She has 1. Her predecessor Cepeda has 2. And that's about it. They've batted in 3 runs overall, and that brings up defensive conference for the Dutch early in the first inning. Now, of course, the team might be feeling a little tired after yesterday evening game, where they beat the Brits and now are 2-1 after beating the Russians on day 1 and then losing to Italy on day 2. An inside pitch catches the corner. Chelsea Lissikatos with 1 strike now. 1 away and bases loaded. So Dutch defense under pressure here. and hit hard towards left field, but it will trail into foul territory for strike number 2. And Frank Lautier in discussion with Dinah Dosting. Can only wonder what these two had to talk about after this pitch. Either way, 0-2. So Lisicados well behind, and we'll try to at least put the ball in play and try to avoid a double play. And just gets a piece of it, a foul ball. A great job by Lisicados to extend this at bat, but still 0-2. A lot of room for the starting battery of Team Netherlands, Sumeru and Oosting, to pitch around the zone, which they don't. It's up in the zone. A rise ball will land, and it's an infield fly called by the umpires. Lisicados automatically out. The runners stay put, and just like that, with bases loaded, they now have 2 away for Nicolet Papavisalou, the catcher of Team Greece. Papavisalou, from still in high school, will graduate next year in 2019. She's from California, plays for California Cruisers, and has committed herself to University of Daytona in Ohio, so she will be a flyer starting with 2019, fall 2019, and takes pitch number 2 from Sumeru for strike number 1. So an even count, 1 ball, 1 strike on Papavisalou. Sumeru aiming inside once again. This time that misses the strike zone. And count now 2-1. So the Greeks still with a chance to open the score of the game. They set up inside once again. They end up going the middle. And Papavisalou froze on that one. 2-2. And looks like Sumeru catching the rhythm now, and Papavisalou sends a hard hit towards left field side, but too early on the timing. Sends it flying towards the batting cages to the left of the softball diamond, number 1 at Hoofddorp Pioneers Complex. One of the newest facilities in Europe, and one of the nicest as well. They set up outside, an off-speed pitch lands up and away from the zone. So full count, bases loaded, and 2 away. On Papavisalou takes a deep breath and gets ready. And that lands in the dirt. A walk with an RBI will open the score of the game. Greeks are on the board. 1-0 for Team Ellis, and Sumeru now picking up some dirt, rubbing it in her hand. A little ritual that she does. At bat, the designated player for Team Greece pops it up and out of play. Even over the head of the few diehard fans who made their way to the stands today, wearing heavy coats because of the wind and the low temperatures. You know, we're expecting some rain even later today in the evening, so that game against the Czechs at 6 o'clock in the evening is expected to be a wet one. Bree sends one up the middle. That will draw another run in. And the Greeks lead 2-0 in the top of the first. Base is still loaded, and great shot up middle by Nikesa. Bree driving in another run for Team Greece. That brings up the pitcher of Team Greece, Chelsea Runyon, who is by third base, talking to her coach, Tony Foti. And her teammate at third base. Here's Chelsea Runyon. She only pitched in one game in 3 innings, and well, her earned run average was 14 runs. Let's see how she does at bat. She also batted in that one game in 2 at bats. Didn't get a hit. Now she's facing Sumeru. Go inside, fouled out of play. So Alsting will have to come back to Lautier to get a new ball, as this one is out of reach. This veteran Dutch player now, Sumeru, picking new balls. He's not happy with probably with the seams on that one. But walks back to the circle with a smile on the face. Of course, these players and umpires know each other very well. It's the same group of players and umps, which we are so grateful for, the ESF umpires. And outside, and they will bounce over the head of Sumeru, and not in time by Cindy van der Santen. So an infield hit will drive in another run for the Greeks. 3-0 for the team wearing white uniforms. And that will be it for Sumeru. Here's Saskia Kosterling talking to Frank Lautier and explaining the changes on Dutch defense. So the veteran pitcher is just too comfortable for the Greeks for hitting. We're able to drive in 3 runs. The base is still loaded. 2 away though. We've seen 8 of the 9 batters in their order, and the last one is coming up now as we'll see who warms up. For Team Netherlands, and it's Marjolein Merks, who closed that game yesterday against Team Great Britain, and now she's they have to go into their bullpen early in the game in the first inning, as the Dutch are trailing 3-0. Now, if softball ever becomes subject of live bets, I'm sure somebody would have won some big cash if they they placed their bet on the Greeks leading 3-0 in the top of the first against the Dutch. So Marjolein Merks in the circle, Sumeru back in the dugout after giving up 5 hits in the first inning. So 3 runs made it across the plate. Chelsea Runyon on first base, wearing a sweatshirt or just or a jacket to keep herself warm, as she will head to the circle as soon as the Dutch defense is able to get 3 away. But They now have 2, and Sam Lysicatos. The right fielder at bat, now facing the 0-1 pitch. And here's Tony Foti with a quick word with Frank Cloutier. And he's probably asking that the umpires will check whether Marjolaine Merckx' pitches are legal. It really is not the umpires, the plate umpires call. But, see Merckx holding the ball in the glove, which is probably the unusual thing. And another hit that will score run number 4, and they round her. No, they stop her at third. Virginie Annefeld there with the backup and heading towards third base. A very upsetting first inning for the Dutch, as they are just unable to stop the offensive power of the Greeks. Maybe a bit of surprise for the Greeks as well, but they are committed. And here's Eleni Spirakis for the second time in this inning. She is already started this game. By loading the base, and she crossed the plate for the first run. Now she has a chance to drive in her teammates. Bases still loaded, 2 away. It's Brina Keza on third, Chelsea Runyon on second, and Sam Lysicatos on first. And here's a popped up play towards right field, and it will land on top of the batting cages there by the right field side. So Brenda Bears was moved from left field to right field for this game. Just couldn't make that play. It was way out of reach. This young player. So after this foul ball, 1-2 count on Spirakis, and Marjolaine Merckx with the pitch. Now, one thing, it's way outside, probably a pitch off. They might have been expecting a tricky play from the Greeks. Spirakis is showing bunt, or setting up at a bunt, and then will retract and go for a swing, as that heads inside and will strike her out. So the Dutch finally get the third out, but the damage has been done. The Greeks are on top, 4-0, and I tell you, what were the odds before the game that they would be leading? All the stats are showing otherwise. So a quick and deep talk in the black and orange there of the Dutch national team. But one thing they can rely on is their strong offense. Like I mentioned before, they're the #1 offense in this tournament, especially when it comes to batting average. But the beauty of this sport is, of course, in the fact that it's anybody's game, and when your pitchers have a bad day and the other team is motivated, of course, a strong boost for the Greeks is the fact that they're still looking to get that first win in this tournament. And here is the defense. Chelsea Runyon, like I mentioned, in the circle, pitching for Team Greece. Once again, behind the plate, Nicola Papavisalou, Maria Cepeda at first base, Anissa Eliopoulos second base, third base, Chelsea Lysicatos shortstop, Eleni Spirakis, and the outfielders Doros Gorigiani, Alexis Bezos, and Sam Lysikatos. Leading off for Team Netherlands is Chantal Versluis, like she has been throughout the whole tournament. Now, not many changes in the Dutch lineup, as handshake between Papavelisselu here and Versluis will kick off the bottom half of the first inning. If you're just joining us, there is no mistake in the scoreboard there in your upper right corner. 4-0. That's the lead for the Greeks, and Chelsea Runyon delivering her first pitch, and a strike called as Versluis was showing bunt, keeping Greek defense on their toes. And showing bunt again, and that once again lands in the strike zone. So 0-2. Versluis asking for a short timeout. She just takes a few swings. Of course, she would like to start the game off similarly to Spirakis, who singled and reached base. Lead-off batter for the Greeks. And hits it towards Chelsea Lysikatos. Fair ball, and the throw comes in time to get Versluis out, so one away. And Greeks are on fire, of course. That first inning helps them out to feel comfortable. 333, that's the batting average of Wies Lichtvoet. She's one of the changes in the batting order for the Dutch. They have been moving around with this player, and also Naisha Franke and Cindy van der Santen. Now, both Cindy and Onaisha are starters in this game. It's Feline Poot who's sitting out on this one, at least at this moment. And wild pitch got away from Runyon, so 1-0 coming up for Lichtvoet. They aim outside. Of course, like her name suggests, Serafia very light. She's a quick runner, and the Greek defense is set up, shifted towards this quick lefty. Spirakis playing in front of the line, connecting second and third base. And both corners are very close, as the first strike is charged to the count of Lichtvoet after that foul ball towards third base side. Here's Runyon with the 2-1 delivery to Lichtvoet, and swing and a miss. So an even count now, 2-2 coming up. Lichtvoet has 2 singles and was hit by a pitch twice. She is able to get on base quite easily. This time bounces it over the head, and it will roll away from Spirakis. An infield hit for Lichtvoet, and the Dutch have a base runner that could put some comfort on their bats, as they now have the powerful part of the batting order coming up, starting with Maxime van Dalen, the first baseman. Van Dalen has a double, but more importantly, 4 RBI, 4 runs driven in by the first baseman, and the ball gets away. A pass ball will help Lichtvoet get away, and aggressive base running as she rounds second and is 1/3 of the way to third base. Just awaiting any potential error on Greek defense. The runner in scoring position with 1 away. Of course, Greek defense can play with some calmness as they are leading by 4 at the moment. Ligfoot taking a big lead off second. She is an aggressive runner. And now Nicola Papavisalou tying her cleats. Make sure that laces don't get in the way. Should she have to get up quickly, try and catch potential steal of third. Now the Dutch have been stealing as a foul ball lands in the dirt. The Dutch have been stealing the most when it comes to this tournament, and they have 100% effective resume. 10 attempted steals and 10 successful steals. The closest 1-2 attempts are the Czechs with 7 attempts, but they have been struggling with 3 caught stealing, and a base hit will score a run for the Dutch as Ligfoot is crossing home plate before that ball even gets into the infield. So Maxime van Dalen delivers another run for the Dutch, and here comes Danette Oosting on fire in this tournament, batting .667, and 3 games she has played. She started only in 2, but has 6 hits and 9 at bats, and one of those a home run, another one a triple. Has driven in 4. The only player better than Van Dalen and Oosting when it comes to RBI is the one following Oosting now on deck, and that's number 17 there on the right-hand side of the picture, Virginie Annefeld, the third baseman. But here comes Oosting, the catcher, with the 0-1 pitch. 1 away and a runner on first. That misses upstairs above the zone. Of course, as mentioned before, the Dutch have the best offense in this tournament, and well, now a slow roller towards third base by Chelsea side. Chelsea Lasicados picks it up and gets the second out, while Van Dalen advances into scoring position on second base. And that brings up Virginie Annefeld, who will have a chance to drive in another run. In total, she's batted in 5 runs in the tournament on a triple and a home run, and 4 single base hits. So her batting average .667, and she hits another one, and that will drive in a run. Van Dalen rounds third, and the throw won't even come. As Dutch are cutting that lead to half, and it's now 4-2 for Team Greece, as Brenda Bears, the right fielder, number 6 in the batting order, getting ready in the left-handed batter's box. Virginie Annefeld hasn't attempted a steal so far. She and Van Dalen are the only players in the lineup who haven't done so. And here's Papavisalou with a great block and charging towards the circle just to make sure that Annefeld stays on first. So here's Brenda Bears facing the 1-0 pitch from Chelsea Runyon and pops it up in the air. It'll be Eleni Spirakis, the shortstop, who will make that play and retire the side after 1 inning of play. Well, a surprising score here in Hoofddorp. The Dutch are trailing 4-2.
Playo.tv, live broadcasting.
Welcome back to Hoofddorp Pioneers Day 4 of Super 6 Baseball and Softball Tournament. If you're just joining us, the Dutch are trailing 4-2 after 1 inning of play. Here is Maxime van Dalen, who has batted in one of the Dutch runs in the bottom of the first. And Alexis Bezos, they're getting ready for her second at bat of the game. She struck out looking, but then after her teammates were able to load the bases and then score 4 runs for Team Greece. So that puts them to the same league as Italy when it comes to runs. As Italy was the only team, and a ball hit towards Onaisha Franca, and Alexis Bezos will reach on this slowly bouncing ball towards Franca. An infield hit for Bezos, and a leadoff batter gets on base for the Greeks once again. So that's hit number 6 for Team Alice. And that brings up Anissa Iliopoulos. And she hits that one into right field. It slices away, but Brenda Bears not getting fooled by the trajectory of that ball. Makes the catch easily. All she needed was 1 or 2 steps to her right to make the catch and retire Iliopoulos. 1 away, but runner on first for the Greeks, and at bat Maria Cepeda. Maria Cepeda, the first baseman, singled her first time up to third base side to Annefeld. And now the Greek team manages to maintain that momentum they started in first inning. As Cepeda now with 2 balls, no strike. Facing that pitch from Marjolaine Merckx, who replaced Rebecca Sumeru early in the first inning. An outside pitch. Cepeda doesn't buy it, and it's 3-0 coming up for Cepeda. She will gladly take the walk, I'm sure, should Merckx not hit the zone on the next pitch. And I highly doubt that she would swing at this one. It's up the middle, just as expected. So 3-1 pitch coming up, a great hitter's count. Merckx will have to work just a bit harder to get those outs. And it's outside for ball number 4. So a base hit and a walk produce 2 runners for Team Greece, and that brings up Chelsea Lysikatos. Chelsea Lysikatos, mentioned many times during her games, studies at University of North Carolina in Charlotte, and hits this one into left field, and it is caught by Wieslichtfoot. The runners will have to hold their position, but the Greeks continue to hit the pitches off of Marceline Merckx. But of course, not real trouble for the outfielders at the moment. Despite that strong wind, these were some easy plays in the outfield for both Bears and Lichtfoot in the second inning. 2 away, runners on second and first. And at bat, it's the catcher, Nicolette Papavisalou. He also drew a walk back in the first that opened the score of the game. It was still when Sumeru was pitching. They set up outside, and despite the attempted framing by Osting, dragging that ball back towards the zone. Bautier doesn't buy it. 1-1. Merckx delivering, and a bounce ball to Reinfeldt. Will have an easy time just stepping on the back, forcing out Bezos on third. And that's it for the Greek offense in the second inning. However, they don't have to feel ashamed for losing momentum. Feel like they still continue getting base runners, getting scoring hits. They have now 6 against the Dutch 3. And they're still in the lead. It's very much a game they could only lose at this point since they are leading. And it's up to their defense to hold up against strong Dutch pitching, Dutch batting. Their offensive strength is unmatched in this tournament. They have driven in the highest number of runs, 21 on 2 home runs, 7 triples, and 5 doubles, and that is the difference between them and Italy so far. But of course, Italy has faced the Czechs, unlike their Dutch counterparts, so that of course affects the stats as the opponent determines how many runs you're actually able to produce. Here is Laura Wissink, 188 centimeters tall, Dutch designated player for this game. Wissink only appeared in 2 of the 3 games and started just 1, but was able to get 2 hits in the forward bats, one of those a triple. And surprisingly for Wissink, also was instructed to sacrifice bunt. This time she will get an infield hit towards the shortstop, Spirakis, who makes a diving stop to prevent a potential multi-base hit. But extra bases not awarded for Wissink on this one. And infield single for Laura. Leadoff batter reaches once again. Here's 25, Cindy van der Sanden showing bunt. She is now the tying run of this game. Laura Wissink, not the player you'd expect to steal, to put it politely, but Dutch are aggressive base runners. Lays down the bunt towards the pitcher, Chelsea Runyon. They will get the out with the stretch by Anissa Eliopoulos. He's managed to hold on to the bag and stretch her left arm towards the first base dugout to get the first out. So executed effectively on both sides, as Wissink now in scoring position on second base. And at bat, Onaisha Franca 2 days ago during the evening game against Italy, or before that game, she was awarded during a ceremony as the most valuable prospect of Talent Team Holland, young Dutch national team developed for the future. And Donatia Franka gets it towards the second base side. Spirakis will get the out in time. Vissing had to wait a bit just to make sure that Eliopoulos would not go to third and try and attempt to get the lead runner. The Greeks opt out for the easy out. Well, not that easy with Franka's speed, but they get it eventually 2 away. Runner 60 feet away. And at bat, Chantal for slice. So get back to the top of the lineup. She grounded out to Chelsea Lyssikatos in her first at bat, and this time a foul ball to start off this at bat. So first strike for Runyon on for slice. Chelsea Runyon, the 18-year-old student of University of Massachusetts at Lowell. Now delivering the 0-1 pitch, 2 for slice, and it's down into the dirt. Great block by Papavislou, keeping Vissing away from scoring that third run for the Dutch. For slice now, facing 1-1 pitch from Chelsea. They go outside and miss the zone. Trying to get for slice chasing. Bottom of the second, 2 away. Vissing on third. That's the only runner on bases, as for slice does not take the bait once again on the outside pitch. And Nicolette Papavislou just double checking with Lautier what was wrong with that one. 16-year-old Papavislou, her birthday is next week on September 30. And a strike called on that one. Papavislou from Los Angeles, California. Catching that one. So full count on for slice. And a chance to drive one more run in for the Dutch to make it a 1-run game, which I'm sure they would gladly take after this opening inning of the game. And for slice, well ahead of time, well ahead of that one, and sends it towards her team's dugout on third base side. Well, adjustment of the batting gloves for Shawnee's ready for pitch number 7 of this at bat, a full count. And Runyon fully focused, trying to keep her fingers warm, as it is a lot colder than the previous days. And for slice will drive that run in. It lands between the left and center fielder, and she's heading for third. The throw will be way late. So for slice, taking off her helmet as she approaches third, because it almost fell off. That's how fast she was going, and of course facing the wind directly into it. I believe that also played a part in her helmet almost flying off. So an RBI triple for slice makes it a 1-run game, and now the tying run is only 60 feet away. At bat is Brenda Wies Lichtvoet, the left fielder. Swing and a miss. Big swing by Lichtvoet. showing bunt. And they get her chasing it. So 0-2 pitch now coming up. Runyon well ahead of the 21-year-old Beast Lichtfoot. Only 161 centimeters. That makes her the shortest player on this Dutch team, and she will get that hit. It will drop right in front of Alexis Bezos in no man's land, just behind second base, and it's a tie game now. 4 runs for the Dutch. And as I predicted earlier in the top of the first, Dutch can rely on their hitting, so that they actually never appear nervous or concerned when they're trailing during games. Their offensive power is just incredible. Now Van Dalen covering up with a bunt, shown. A steal off Lichtfoot. Oh, another runner in scoring position. Van Dalen already has an RBI in the bottom of the first. He drove in that first run for the Dutch, and now will be able to put her team ahead. All the way 2 away, and 0-1 pitch coming from Runyon. Sent foul by the first base side. So Lichtfoot returning to second. Here's Cepeda and Iliopoulos throwing that ball back to Chelsea Runyon. The pitcher showing 2 away. You see the gazebos, those little tents here are almost flying away in the strong winds. So far, the wind hasn't affected this game that much, at least not when it comes to high flying pop-ups that would change direction in flight or just sort of stop from flying further. And it's in the dirt. Great block by Papavisalou once again. Maxime Van Dalen, 22-year-old Sparks Haarlem player, and hits it towards first base side, and it's miscommunication in the Greek defense, and that will score a leading run for the Dutch as Lichtfoot crosses plate for the second time in his game. 5-4 for the Dutch. Van Dalen's ball was hit towards first base, somewhere between the first baseman and second baseman. Cepeda and Iliopoulos not communicating well, so both of them went towards the ball and nobody covered first. And once Cepeda fielded it, it was she had no chance of making it to first in time before Van Dalen. That brings up Danette Oostink. Yeah, that close bang-bang play as she grounded out to Chelsea Lisicados. This time it's a slow roller towards Elena Iriakis, Spirakis, Eleni Spirakis, the shortstop, Team Greece. And an infield hit for Oosting. The second runner on the base. So many runs driven in with 2 away as we get some rain here starting to fall, so you can see that it is pretty strong hopefully, yeah, we will get a delay as the teams are called off the field to take cover. Now it's a very heavy rain pour here in Hoofddorp. Hopefully all of our equipment won't take a big blow. Won't take a big blow after this plays. Of course, we're unable to determine the delay at the moment. It looks like a quick shower that will pass in just a few minutes, but it's really hard to judge, and it is as forecasted. So we're covering up all of our equipment as much as we can. And if the rain passes quickly, we'll be able to resume this game, in which the Dutch successfully turned things around. They got caught off guard by first offensive effort by the Greeks, who took an early 4-0 lead on the bottom of the first. Dutch only able to get 2 runs closer, make it 4-2, and now in the bottom of the second, it's 5-4 for the Dutch. They will have runners on second and first when the game resumes, which will be shortly, as the rain is now getting lighter and has almost ceased. It is the forecast for today. Hopefully the schedule won't be affected too much by today's weather. And slowly but surely we're getting ready to resume this opening game of day 4 between the Netherlands and Greece. We'll see who will benefit more from this quick break as of this rain shower, but umpires that are heading back towards the field, so we can expect them to call in the teams ASAP. It looks like that's about it from the rain at this moment, and we're hoping to get as few of these moments today as possible. Suja?
Playo.tv live broadcasting.
Welcome back to Hoofddorp. Game 1 of day 4 is about to resume after a short rain delay, a quick rain shower. Surprised maybe everyone here. Started as a light drizzle and then raindrops came pouring on the field. Of course, the field is withstanding this without any trouble. They use a special kind of mixture of dirt here in Netherlands. They're of course used to this kind of weather. And now we're back with a block needed by Papavisilu as Virginie Annefeld has a chance once again to drive in another run. Batted in run in the first inning, and now as they add 3 more runs in the bottom of the second, Dutch able to extend their lead. Runyon now struggling to bring the pitches to the zone. But of course doesn't want to give away too nice of a pitch to Annefeld. Best, most effective batter, and she sends one up the middle, and that will drive in another run. There's Bezos on the throw, not making it, just reconsiders, and an RBI single by Annefeld makes it a 2-run game, 6-4 for the Dutch. And not to predict too early, but this is probably the deciding point in this game, meaning that a team as strong as the Netherlands will be able to hold on to this lead and even make it a more decisive one later on. Annefeld taking a big lead at first as her teammate rise ball above her teammate left foot is on the corner at third, because with 2 away, Oosting was replaced by a temporary runner, left foot. So runners on the corners and hit towards third base side, and despite the fact that it bounced off of foot, the umpires will talk about this, but the rule says that, of course, not every contact with the ball is automatically an out for a base runner. Lautenschläger calls his colleagues Lautier and Lohner to discuss the situation. His feeling probably was that no one would have fielded that ball anyway, as it was hit towards second base side between the first and second baseman, Cepeda and Iliopoulos. But immediately he spread his arms and made that safe call, because there was nobody who would be affected by this. Here's another look at Annefeld's RBI single. Runners on the corners once again, and another run in for the Dutch. And the heavy hitter Laura Wissink at bat, 1 for 1 in this game after a base hit in the first. Now second at bat, bottom of the second. Catches the inside corner for strike number 1. Wissink, a big threat for any defense that faces this powerful hitter. They go up and away and miss the zone. beautiful study of these sport moments as Bissing takes a deep breath and all that focus from Chelsea Runyon, and that pitch misses, and easy way for Brenda Bears, who makes her way to second base. Slides in as Kosterink was laughing at her slide since there was no play. That misses low for ball number 3. Oh no, a delayed strike called, sorry. So I'll take it back, make it a 2-2 count. And Bissing walking all the way to the third base coach's box. Regain her focus. Two-way runners in scoring position on third and second. That's Annefeld and Bears. And Bissing down in the dirt, blocked by Papavisalou. So she keeps her team still in this game. Of course, a big blow would be for the Greeks if they had. Should they give up a few more runs? Now Lautier needs a short moment as Papavisalou was in discussion with her dugout, specifically with Coach Tony Foti. And now everyone ready for the 3-2 pitch by Runyon. Full count on Bissing. And she hits it way up in the air. It's gonna drop, and it will drive in 2 more runs. So I probably jinxed it previously when I mentioned the winds not being a big factor, since none of the hits were, none of the fly balls were too high in the air, affected by the wind. But Bissing now taking advantage of the weather conditions, as that ball just landed in front of Dora Scorgiani. It was, as we take another look, that ball drops there. She had a lot of trouble reading it. And now add to that strong winds, add some of the sunshine here, and that's how tough it will be for the outfielders now. Laura Bissing on second base after driving in 2 more runs for the Dutch. Now Cindy van der Sunden at bat. Runyon with the delivery and almost hits van der Sunden. It gets away from Papavisalou as that wild pitch rolled on the ground through the right-handed batter's box, and Bissing advances to third. 1-1 pitch coming up for Dutch second baseman, and van der Sunden sends it rolling to Chelsea Lisicatos, the third baseman. The throw is in time to get her out. The Dutch drive in 7 runs in the long bottom half of the second inning, even extended length because of short rain delay. And now they lead 11. They drive in 7, so they lead 9-4 on the 11 hits against the 6 of the Greek, and now they have a game fully under control. We'll be right back with the third inning action.
Playo.tv, live broadcasting.
We're back. Third inning starting up here shortly at Hoofddorp Pioneers Complex. To the south of Schiphol Airport, here next to Amsterdam. One of those beautiful cities in Europe or in the world that you could visit. And here is the Greek offense starting off with a leadoff batter. Nikesa, who singles up the middle. And that'll bring up Chelsea Runyon, the pitcher, who started off very well for Team Alice. They were able to maintain lead after the first inning, 4-2 for the Greeks, but now they are trailing by 5 runs. It will be a tough task for Greek offense to try to get back in this game, make it a close one once again. See how they do. As first pitch missed on the outside, now on the inside. So 2-0 coming up for Runyon. Nikesa on first and go outside this time. That catches the corner of the zone for strike number 1. Marceline Merckx now with the delivery, and they get her swinging at that pitch. Just a piece of it for a foul ball. Marceline Merckx, 2-2. Get her looking, checked her swing, and that ball just spun into the strike zone for strike number 3. A strikeout. Very appreciated by the rest of the Dutch defense. They would love to maintain the lead going into bottom of the 3rd and possibly even make it bigger. Now, they were, of course, hoping for a quick and easy game today in the morning, as there is undoubtedly tougher and more important one coming up later today at 6 o'clock against the Czechs. Managed to beat Italy after 5 years of unsuccessfully matching up with the Azzurri. Here's Samantha Lyssikatos, right fielder. All 3 team number 9 in the batting order. To admit, statistics now are a bit limited. Some of the equipment got wet and had to be turned off, but Lyssikatos strikes out looking, hesitantly heads back to the dugout as Osting was set up way outside, but then the pitch came the upper center part of the zone and struck Lisicado's out. So runner on first still for Eleni Spirakis now. The shortstop, her third at bat in this game. Batting .429 in the tournament. Spirakis working well, laying off of these two pitches. Now a good hitters count, 2-0 for Spirakis. Set up outside and low. A great at bat by Spirakis, who's able to produce a hit from the long at bat to start the game. And this time that catches upper part of the zone. And hit towards left field, another hit for Spirakis, and a runner Nikeza stopped at second, which was a good decision as Wies Lichtfoot was quickly covering that ball. But another hit for Spirakis, and great game for this young Greek player. I will bring up Alexis Bezos. She struck hard in her first time up, but in her second outing, Bezos reached on what was eventually scored error on Onasia Franca. Nice curveball into the zone. Bezos jumping out of the way of this pitch, but that just turned into the zone for the plate. Strike called on the upper part of the zone. Strike on the outside this time. 2-2 coming up from Merckx to Bezos. Spirakis on first. Nikeza on second. Those are the Greek runners. Nervously awaiting the result of this at bat, and Bezos hits it towards Onasia Franca at second. The throw to first is in time to retire Bezos, and that'll end the top half of the third inning. So the Dutch able to hold on to that 5-run lead and are looking to make it even bigger in the bottom of the third. That would be a good time to remind you of the run-ahead rule. Of course, the difference in the third inning, after which the game would end prematurely, would be 15 runs. So they would have to add 10 more, but then since Dutch are the home team, all they need before going into the bottom of the fourth would be 10 runs. And since they were able to add 7 in the previous inning, adding 5 in the third would not be that much of a problem. And then all they would need are 3 out to get that win. They were hoping for the quick one to get rested before the evening game. Here is the new hurler for Team Ellis, and that's veteran Lawrence Tarrou, who has replaced Chelsea Runyon, who's done a great job especially in the first inning. But of course, it was very tough for her to withstand the pressure from the Dutch offensive players. Tarrou, 24-year-old from Long Beach, California, currently studying at Fairleigh Dickinson University. Lauren Amon outside, away from Anisha Franca. Hit towards Spirakis, and that awkward bounce of the third surprises Spirakis, who just couldn't make that play. Wonder if scorekeepers will award this one to Franca as an infield hit, or rather an error on Spirakis. Either way, there is a runner on first. Leadoff batter reaches first base, and that brings up the top of the lineup. Chantal for Slice, Shani Yaz. Has tripled with an RBI in the second inning after grounding out to Chelsea Lysikatos in the first. And a steal by Franca is caught. Nice tag by Spirakis as she swept the glove towards the sliding Franca. And it's the first unsuccessful steal attempt of the Netherlands in this tournament. Papavisalou, scalp of one of the fastest, one of the quickest runners here in Hoofddorp. For Slice now without any runners. Now a 3-1 pitch, so good hitters count, and she does hit it, but it rolls all the way to left field. Here's another look at that steal attempt and the throw from Papavisalou. The tag, well, very close play, but Thomas Lohnert was only 2 meters away and had the best view of the situation. I was able to make that good call on the field. And once again for Slice, sends it towards the third base side. Go outside. That's ball number 3. So now the full count pitch from Tarrou to Shani for Slice, and it's popped up towards the second base side, and Anissa Eliopoulos, without too much effort, can make that play, and just like that they have 2 away. So good defense by the Greeks. Now clear bases. As we take another look, here is Eliopoulos just grabbing that ball. A slow roller towards Lysikatos, picks that ball up, but an infield hit. An infield hit by Wies Lichtfoot. Proves her speed once again this game. Second time she used those wheels to get on base. here's a pinch hitter for Dutch, Jesse van Elst. Not buying these outside pitches, laying off, and now 2-0 from Tarrou coming up. Left foot staying on first. He, a bit surprisingly, takes a huge lead off first. But here's another look. Not the best hit she was looking for, but look at that speed. Just beating that play by Alexis Bezos. Another one outside, so Van Elst, Jesse van Elst will walk to first, which puts Wies Lichtvoet into scoring position on second. And another pinch hitter coming up, and that's Karin Tuk. Hoping to extend this time an offense with two-way and drive at least some runs in. Coastering to Frank Lautier, who in a good mood. Looked at the scorekeepers, told him that they already managed to take down this change, as that almost hits her, gets away from Papavisalo. To throw to third is just a tad late, so Lichtvoet in scoring position. So is Jesse van Elst, and Karin Tuk facing 1-0 pitch from Tarrou that is in the zone for strike number one. So consistently hitting that part of the plate for Tuk that's on the inside, as she is one of the few right-handed batters of Dutch. Misses above the letters. Ball number 2. Another ball. Number 3 in this at bat. Hit by Tuk towards Chelsea Lisicados. She takes her time, getting a good grip on that ball, which she could with Karin Tuk, and still manages to make the throw in time. Both offenses are scoreless in the third, and it's still a pretty close game. 5-run difference between the Dutch and the Greeks as we head into the fourth.
Playo.tv live broadcasting.
Welcome back to the Playo.tv live broadcast from Hoofddorp, the Netherlands, where we are all trying to keep ourselves warm on this cold September day. And it's day 4 of the Super 6 tournament. We are see the fans covered up in jackets and hoodies and maybe even raincoats, as we had a short rain delay and are expecting some more rain later today, but that won't come for some time. The clouds are scattered on this Dutch skyline, and We're ready for inning number 4. Marjolein Merckx still in the circle, but behind the plate is Karin Tuk. So instead of just pinch hitting for the Dutch, she takes a position on the field as well. A few more changes as Jessie van Alst replaced Maxime van Dalen at first base. The rest of the Dutch defense remains the same as previously. That means Van der Sanden, Onesha Franca, middle infielders, and Anneveld third. Swing and a miss as Anissa Leopoulos decided to go for that one. 1-2 pitch coming up from Merckx to the Greek second baseman. Checks her swing, but that rise ball catches the tip of the barrel anyway. Anissa Leopoulos turned 20 this summer from Norwich, Illinois. Spoils that one as well. Rutgers University alumni. Working this at bat. Anissa singled to Onesha Franca. Her first outing, and this time towards Virginie Anneveld at third base, and from Anneveld to Van Alst. It's the first out of inning number 4 for the Dutch defense. That'll bring up the first baseman for Team Greece, Maria Cepeda. Singled on a bunt in the first inning, and then walked on the second in her second plate appearance. So 1 for 1. Reaching base twice in this game. And Cepeda already with 1 strike in this at bat. That catches the outside for strike number 2. Perfect location by Marjolein Merckx. And also great work from Karin Tuk. Experienced catcher. The rise ball misses way above the zone. Let's see. Number of signs by the catcher before that pitch, and that was a very close one, missing just below the zone on the kneecaps. It's ball number 2 in this at bat. Cepeda lays off of that one as it missed upstairs yet again. So full count. And Cepeda doing a great job for Team Ellis. Hit towards first base side. It will roll foul for Cepeda. Van Alst, they're ready to make the play. So maybe more of a lucky break for the Greek first baseman. That ball was out of bounds. This Jessie van Alst would have had an easy play at first. So another full count pitch coming up from Merckx. It's popped up and out of play. Way towards the practice field here in Hoofddorp. More like April weather here in the Netherlands. Sunshine now As that is hit in the gap between the first baseman and second, and will roll all the way to Brenda Bears in right field. And Maria Cepeda, after a long at bat, has a base hit and reaches base for the third time in a row. So a great game for Cepeda, Greek first baseman from Lake Forest College, 21-year-old. In college, plays in outfield, and here first baseman. Here's Chelsea Lisicatos, the third baseman from Cold Spring, New York. As we take another look at that base hit by Cepeda. Merckx missing the zone, up and away. Ball number 1. Chelsea Lisicatos with 1 out and the runner on first. Bases loaded in the first. She was out on an infield fly in the first, and then singled on the left field line also in the first, as she had 2 plate appearances and drove in 1 run for the Greeks. Flied out to the left fielder Lichtfoot. Her 3rd plate appearance, so this would mark her 4th plate appearance, and sent foul all the way to the corner of the field on the first base side. Here's the Brenda Bears. Sending the ball towards the infield. Marjolaine Merckx takes it over. She closed for the Dutch yesterday against the Brits and took over the pitching responsibilities from Sumeru already in the first inning, after Greeks were able to drive in more and more runs. So dead ball called as that hit Lisicatos after bouncing off the ground and wasn't unnoticed by Frank Lautier. Chelsea getting some support from numerous fans of the Greek team here in the Netherlands. Most of them, of course, parents, families of the players. Took a trip to Europe in late September, summer week for the biggest event on European soil in women's fast pitch Super 6 tournament. Full count after this close call. And Merckx looking confident. Hit in the gap between Annefeld and Franke, and a base hit for Chelsea Lisicatos. 2 runners on for Team Greece with 1 away, and that brings up Nicolette Papavisalou, the catcher. Papavisalou walked with an RBI. And then reached on fielder's choice as Bezos was forced out back in the first. This time a foul ball. Start of the at-bat. You probably heard the instruction from Tony Foti, the coach of Greek national team, drive it up the middle. That's what they would definitely like. That would bring in maybe one run. And swing and a miss. That ball spun away from Papavisalou. Here's another look at Lesicados' shot to left field. Licked foot there. Covering for teammates. Checks her swing, that misses on the outside. Not gonna challenge that. Not gonna challenge that call. All right, checking with Lautenschläger, first base umpire. 1-2. And an off-speed pitch gets her swinging. Second out for Dutch defense. And with 2 away, can now solely focus on getting Brie Nikeza, the designated player, out. She's 2 for 2 in this game, singled up the middle twice. So fulfilling her DP duties to the fullest. Just missed the zone. Great job by Nikeza to lay off that one. 1-1 pitch coming from Merckx. 2 teammates on the bases. Cepeda on second and Lesicados on first for Nikeza. The 17-year-old still in high school with Whitney Young Magnet High School in Chicago, Illinois. Another player from Illinois, from the Chicago area on this Greek lineup, and working well with selecting the pitches to swing at. Another ball off of Merckx. 2-2 pitch coming up. And foul ball awkwardly towards the first base side dugout. And as soon as the sun hides behind the clouds, it gets incredibly cold in this wind. All the players wearing short sleeves need to keep themselves warm and in motion to prevent any potential injury. Brie Nikeza, one of them, but definitely not feeling cold now. Full count pitch, and that catches the outside corner. As Brie Nikeza is now 2 for 3 after striking out looking. So Dutch defense able to keep the Greeks from scoring for the 3rd time in the row. Greeks put 4 runs on the board in the first inning, and since then they were able to get runners on, but they left them stranded and couldn't drive them in. Whereas the Dutch were able to add 7 runs in the second and make it a 5-run game heading into the 4th. 9-4 for the Oranians, for the Dutch team. Chelsea Runyon was replaced by Lawrence Tarrou in the previous inning. Dutch need 5 to end this game now, or 2 runs and 3 outs to end it in the next inning. I'm sure that's their objective for now for this inning, when Saskia Kostering and all the other coaching staff members of Team Netherlands spoke to their players between the innings. I'm sure they set up objectives for the different innings, and one of those for now is to add at least 2 runs to get some comfort and end the game early on the mercy rule. Starting with Virginie Anneveld, who's perfect today. She won't get a chance to drive in and run unless, of course, she homers in this at bat. But it'll be a great start for the Dutch offense should she successfully reach base. This at bat. That misses above. Tarrou, of course, carefully pitching around the zone for Anneveld, who is a big threat. And the walk will start things off for the Netherlands. Leadoff walk is okay in their book. Something you accept because the game-ending run now at the plate. It's the right fielder Brenda Beers. He's 1 for 2, popped up to Spirakis, but also singled with an RBI. Drove in Oosting and advanced Anneveld. That was after that rain delay in second inning. That misses on the inside, so 8 pitches in. Bottom of the 4th of Tarrou, 7 of those landed as a ball, and that makes it 8 for another walk. So consecutive bases on balls, low 2 runners on for the Dutch, and Laura Vissing at bat. For 2 with a single and a double in this game. And another ball rolled by Tarrou. Set up outside, and it's hit by Vissing. It will land fair, so run will score, as that throw is cut off by Lisicados, and she checks Bears at second. Vissing with an RBI single. She's 3 for 3 and gets run number 10 in for the Dutch. I'll bring up Cindy van der Sanden. Rounded out to Lisicados. And sacrifice bunt meant that she was out after Runyon, together with Iliopoulos, put her out earlier. So van der Sanden now looking to get that hit, and a pickoff attempt, and the throw is off target. Nikolai Papavisalou made the throw because Brenda Beers was taking a big lead off the second base, but there was nobody covering the base on that side. So Papavisalou threw it towards the third base side off second. And Iliopoulos, the second baseman, just couldn't reach that. So on this throw, runners on the corners. Vissing now working hard and aggressively off first base. Van der Sanden now 2-0 pitch from Tarrou, and it's a foul ball towards the third base side for strike number 1. for the Greek team, and the dugout is of course a lot more quieter than earlier. Whereas the Dutch dugout now on fire, and they want to keep that momentum and hoping for another rally similar to the one in the second inning. They need 4 more to end the game now, or at least 1 to make sure that they don't have to play any more than 4.5 innings. Full count on Thunder Sundin. Another long at bat. Tarrou showing her endurance, shaking off the first 2 pitches. Chosen by Papavisalou and then popped up into the third base side where Lysikatos drops that ball. A very tough play to make. The ball just sort of died in the air and then turned back towards the home plate like a boomerang. So Lysikatos having a tough time reading that one, and Thunder Sundin gets an extra life. Another full count pitch coming from Tarrou. Hit towards third base side once again, but a foul ball is called as that ball rolled out of bounds about a foot before the third base. So 10-4 in the bottom of the 4th of this game number 12 of the tournament. Once this is done, 6 more to go. We will be 2/3 done as Thunder Sundin sends this one flying to the, well, let's say a bullpen part of the field where pitchers would sometimes warm up. There's a strip of dirt going all the way to the corner at this field. And hit towards third base side. This time it's a fair ball, and it will drive in run number 11. Missing heading for third, and she will round and head for home. And Thunder Sundin will stop on second. 2 runs driven in as Kate Panos, Katrina Panos was struggling to pick that ball up in the corner, left-hand corner of the field. Here's another look at that bullet sent towards the third base side. Lysikatos, of course, no chance to get that ball. Now we see Vissing hesitantly heading for home as her coach was sending her the whole way through. And now a pickoff attempt, which is unsuccessful, but Thunder Sundin caught a bit off guard. They're midway to third, decides to head back to second, maybe on the throw. She could have headed to third. That would be even a safer way. Now another ball, and it bounces off of Cepeda, and it will drive in run number 13 for the Netherlands. The game-ending run is on first after Onesha Franca hit this towards the first base side. Cepeda unable to react, bounces that ball into right field, where it's recovered by Sam Lysikatos. And now Tony Foti speaking to his players, because what they need to protect now to extend this game is that runner on first, which represents the game-ending run. With nobody out, that'll be a tough challenge for the Greek players to try and defend this run and prevent them from scoring. The question is if the Dutch will try to bring that run in at any cost, and we'll lay down a sacrifice bunt, and then we'll have 2 attempts with 1 away to drive that runner from scoring position in, or that they will rely and believe that their batting power can drive it in. Now they have none other than Shani for slice at bat at the moment, and of course the rest of the top half of the lineup is coming up for the Dutch. That means Lichtvoet, Van Alst, and Tuk, who have replaced Van Dalen and Oosting. Third and fourth spot in the batting order. But first, here's Chantal for slice. Onesha Franca holding on first. Question is, will they risk steal? Onesha Franca was caught stealing once in this game. First runner who was caught stealing on a Dutch team in this whole tournament. It was Nicolette Papavisalou who caught her before second base. For slice, shows bunt, lays off, but takes that pitch for strike. And that ball drops down in the dirt for ball number 3. 3-1 pitch coming from for slice. And you probably heard from the Dutch dugout the instruction, drive her in and end the game, as that is ball number 4. So walk drawn by Shani for slice, the center fielder of the Dutch team, and that brings Wies Lichtvoet, who's shown her speed in this game and ability to get base hits in the infield. Now well-placed hit into the outfield would end the game, as Onesha Franca is one of the quickest runners, as that misses on the outside. So Tarrou struggling once again in this 4th inning. The Dutch are 1 run away from ending this game, and that run is at second. A pick-off attempt by Papavisalou. Now Franca sitting carefully on second. And that is hit, and it will drop in front of Eleni Spirakis. Nice diving attempt by the Greek shortstop. It was very gutsy from Franca to just take off for third. It looked like it was going to drop a lot earlier, but Spirakis was the tallest, or well, at least one of the tallest players on this Greek team, diving for that ball. Made it very close. Here's another look at Jesse Van Alst, who walks off. A walk-off double. Make that a triple for Jesse Van Alst. Ends this game. The Dutch take advantage of the run-ahead rule. So despite being caught off guard in the 1st inning, when they were surprised maybe by the Greek offense, which scored 4 runs early and kept the Dutch from tying the game or overturning it until the 2nd inning, and after rain delay, it was pretty much the Dutch game. So game ends early on a walk-off hit by Jesse Van Alst. No surprise, no upset, but an interesting and dramatic game, at least to start with. Thank you for joining us for day 4. We will have more today, of course. In 30 minutes, there's the direct battle between Team Russia and Great Britain for that 4th spot after round robin, which means the winner of this game will play for 3rd place tomorrow. Of course, it's taken into account all the expected results. 14-4 is the final score. Thank you for being with us on behalf of all the crew of Playo.tv. In 30 minutes, we'll be right back with softball action. In the meantime, you can tune in on the other streams to watch some baseball.
Playo.tv, live broadcasting.